Oh God. Hey, Pokémon, the worldwide gaming phenomenon that's been confusing parents and daring players to catch them all for over 20 years. With Pokémon Sword and Shield for the Nintendo Switch finally about to be in our sweaty, greasy gamer hands this Friday, it's the perfect time to look back at how the Pokémon video games shaped their anime counterparts over the past 2 decades. The settings, the battle mechanics, the monsters, they've all had their moment in the spotlight. Now, there are 122 Pokémon games, 22 movies, and 1,000 plus episodes currently in existence, so we won't be able to cover every tiny detail. We're gonna stick with the core series of games and the main television anime for this video. We're thinking big here. Snorlax big, Whale Lord big, Gigantamax thick Pikachu big. Okay, maybe that's too big. Generation 1. While the Pokémon anime actually preceded the first Game Boy games here in North America by nearly 3 weeks, it was nowhere to be found when the original Pokémon Red and Green titles launched in Japan in February of 1996. Once it was clear to Nintendo and developer Game Freak that Pokémon was a certified hit, they struck a deal with animation studio Oriental Light and Magic, better known as OLM, to produce an anime. On April 1st, 1997, more than a year after the introduction of the original Pokémon games, the first episode of the Pokémon anime premiered on TV Tokyo. Viewers were introduced to the main character, Satoshi, a fatherless 10-year-old boy with dreams of one day becoming a Pokémon master. Satoshi, like the player, also began his journey in Pallet Town, met with Pokémon expert Professor Oak, and competed against his rival, Shigeru. Wow, that is one cool guy. As you may have guessed, the Pokémon anime was basically a direct reimagining of the first 2 games. Red and Green laid down the foundation for what the Pokémon series would become, and the anime followed suit. The player's main quest to collect gym badges, catch Pokémon, and thwart the devious Team Rocket as they explore the Kanto region can be seen through Satoshi's initial 80-episode journey. When the Pokémon anime launched in North America alongside Pokémon Red and Blue in September of 1998, Satoshi had become Ash, and Shigeru had become Gary. Of course, outside the basic Pokémon premise, the anime also put the spotlight on quite a few non-playable characters with far less significant roles in the main game. Gym leaders Brock and Misty joined Ash on its journey, while Team Rocket goons Jesse, James, and Meowth were introduced as main villains. One of the anime's more drastic departures from the initial games was Ash's starting Pokémon, a feisty electric mouse by the name of Pikachu, who was considerably chunkier in the early games and in Season 1. And just look at him. Look at that old belly fat he's got. Let me wear the hat. Funsies. Anyhow, though powerful starter Pokemon evolutions, Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise had graced the covers and cartridges of the original 3 Pokemon offerings, Pikachu's popularity soon thunderbolted him to the status as the official Pokemon mascot. Look at you, buddy, making all the way to the top. The Pokemon anime and his red-cheeked fat rat were so popular that they even inspired a special version of the original adventure, Pokemon Yellow. Aside from starting with Pikachu and facing off against Jesse and James from time to time, Pokemon Yellow wasn't that much different than its Generation 1 predecessor. Also, Pikachu would follow you around. Look at that fat rat go. As Game Freaks worked to bring the second generation of Pokemon to players, the Pokemon anime stalled, sending Ash on a seafaring adventure through the anime-exclusive Orange Island to bring back the coveted GS Ball. GS, I wonder what that could stand for. Brock was replaced by some new dork named Tracy, and Ash adopted a baby Lapras to serve as his living boat. Lapras? Yeah, okay. Now, before we talk about the second generation of Pokemon, we have to talk about the Pokemon Origins anime, just real quick. Released on October 2nd, 2013, unlike the anime counterpart which took inspirations from the game, this is actually a 4-episode special that faithfully adapts the Red and Blue series. Telling the story of Red and his first starter Pokemon Charmander, it even includes many mechanics found in the game with health bars, technical machines aka TM, and at the start and end of all episodes we get a nice little touch of the original Pokemon menus to give fans that good old-fashioned nostalgia hit. Wow. Fun fact about the series, each of the 4 episodes are done by different studios and different directors. Episode 1 was animated by Production IG and directed by Itsuro Kawasaki. Episode 2 and 3 was animated by Sebek, with Yukio Kuroda for Episode 2 and Hideya Takahashi for Episode 3. And finally, Episode 4 was animated by OLM with director Daiki Tomiyasu. Generation 2. As information regarding the second generation Pokemon dubbed Gold and Silver came to light, fans of the anime began to notice a few key monsters they had spotted in the show's first season. The legendary Ho-Oh, the very face of Pokemon Gold, can actually be seen flying over a rainbow as Ash looks on in the very first episode. The 46th episode of the first season also introduced viewers to a mysterious egg that hatched 4 episodes later in the then unknown Pokemon, Togepi. When Gold and Silver finally hit store shelves in Japan on November 19, 1999, it was brimming with 100 new monsters, as well as 2 new Pokemon types, Dark and Steel. The game also sported updated features such as Pokemon breeding and a day-to-nighttime system. Staying in line with the games, the anime saw Ash and company forging into the new Johto region to conquer gyms and catch even more wild beasties. Pokemon breeding makes an appearance in the form of even more Pokemon eggs. Throughout the Johto region's 3-season run, Ash is given various eggs, all of which hatch into different little baby Pokemons. Ah, so cute. It should also be noted that at this point, Brock is back in the gang. I only bring this up because he actually mentions wanting to become a Pokemon breeder all the way back in episode 5, before he was even a thing.
I don't care about being a great Pokemon trainer. I want to become the world's best breeder.
Although it seems like Brock is always attempting to do some breeding of his own.
One thing, Isis.
Yes?
I was wondering if you would build us a bridge of love connecting our hearts forever.
Gold and Silver, as well as the often overlooked Crystal, would also introduce players to the concept of rare and uniquely colored monsters known as shiny Pokemon. The odds of finding one of these highly coveted creatures in the wild was, and still is, a staggering 1 in 8,192. The existence of these uncommon Pokemons will be brought to light in episode 154 titled Foul Play, where Ash stumbles upon and catches a shiny Noctowl. Shiny. Generation 3. Next in the lineup were Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, the first main series game to be featured on the Game Boy Advance. New regions, new gyms, new bad guys, and new Pokemons. You already know the drill. Pokemon had never looked better, and the developers at Game Freak were dedicated to adding even more gizmos and gimmicks on top of the classic RPG play. This included new Pokemon abilities, 2-on-2 battles, and a slew of new Pokeballs designed to help even the wiliest Zangoose. 3 full seasons of adventures were produced for the Hoenn region, and this time it was Misty who was given the heave-ho. She was replaced by 2 new companions, May and her younger brother, Max. May strongly resembled the default female character for the game, while Max just looked like a dweeb. The new protagonists were brought in to showcase 2 of Ruby's and Sapphire's newest gameplay additions. Though May joins up because she simply wants to travel, she soon finds her true calling in ribbons and Pokemon contests. In the game, the contests are basically pageants, with trainers entering their favorite monsters in one of 5 categories: coolness, beauty, cuteness, cleverness, and toughness. After multiple rounds of judging, the winning Pokemon and their coordinators are awarded ribbons. In the anime, contestants are made into a type of battle, with Pokemon being judged as they duke it out. This is May's calling in life. I mean, look at all these ribbons. Goddamn, girl's got talent. Max, on the other hand, is shown as the owner and operator of the new Pokénav, a device used in-game to navigate maps and track Pokemon conditions and feelings. Y'all doing good back there? Y'all good? You're doing good, Pikachu. Where's even your ear? The 4th season of the 3rd generation is known as Battle Frontier. In the video games, Battle Frontier is an exclusive post-game section of Pokémon Emerald, the enhanced version of Ruby and Sapphire that takes place on an island in the Hoenn region. This was changed in the anime in favor of the original Kanto region, most likely so the show could promote the release of Pokémon Red and Green remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Game Boy Advance. Generation 4. Pokémon Diamond and Pearl were next, released for the insanely popular Nintendo DS handheld in 2006 and 2007 for Japan and North America respectively. The big pull this time around, outside of 2 screens and 107 new Pokémons, was the addition of online battle and trading via the DS Wi-Fi capabilities. Fun fact, Japanese players could actually do both of these way back with the Pokémon Crystal via the mobile adapter GB for the Game Boy Color, but it flopped pretty hard and was scrapped for sales outside of Japan. Not so fun fact. Beyond online play, Diamond and Pearl didn't add many important new ideas to the main series gameplay. In the anime, Ash and Brock were joined by newcomer Dawn, a character who, similar to May, is focused on becoming the Pokémon contestant coordinator. Dawn works to achieve this dream in the show by using another new device called the Pokémon Watch, or Poketch. That was a really dumb name. The Pokéetch was used in-game as a map, move tester, coin flipper, calendar, timer, stopwatch, and much, much more. And now it's only $39.99. Call now. The Diamond and Pearl series also marked the first time the anime wasn't handled by the notorious 4Kids Entertainment. Who's that Crunchyroll host? It's Tim! Tim! That's my Pokemon cry. Generation 5. The 5th generation of Pokemon games made their debut in 2010's Pokemon Black and White. Released once again for the Nintendo DS, Black and White housed 156 new Pokemons, more than any generation before or since. Known in Japan as Best Wishes and simply Black and White in America, the 4 anime seasons surrounding the Unova region introduced 2 new pals, Iris and Cillian, and promoted new features like 3-on-3 and rotation battles, as well as Pokemon contests which have been changed to Pokemon musicals. You know, like Floatzel on the Roof and Les Misdravas. Ahaha, musical jokes. So funny. In fact, both 3-on-3 battles and Pokemon musicals take center stage, all puns intended, in the episode A Maractus Musical. The main plot of the games, outside the usual gym badges and Pokemon League's quest, is to defeat Team Plasma, a group dedicated to separating the world of Pokemon and their human trainers. Plasma's leader, the charismatic N, is a new kind of villain, an anti-hero of sorts who only wants what's best for Pokemon. Both Team Plasma and N make an appearance in the Pokemon Black and White anime, with Ash's main crew encountering the charming young man on various occasions. The Black and White video games were followed by Black 2 and White 2. It's never been revealed as to why Game Freak simply didn't go with Pokemon Gray. Well, at least they didn't go with Pokemon Gary. Generation 6. With 2 main series entries on the DS, it was time for the Pokemon games to make the jump to 3D. With Pokemon X and Y. For the first time ever, the game saw a global launch date, October 12, 2013. No more spoilers from Japanese players who had beaten the game months ahead of others. While Black and White had introduced the most Pokemons ever, X and Y would introduce the least, with a minuscule 72 new monsters. The main gimmick this time around was Mega Evolutions, a special way to temporarily beef up certain Pokemons for a single battle. Of course, if you wanted a Pokemon to Mega Evolve, they would have to be holding the Mega Stone, and you'd have to be wearing a Keystone. You know, it's just science, bitch. Unsurprisingly, Mega Evolutions played a big role in the Pokemon anime. In the first episode of the XY series, Kalos, Where Dreams and Adventure Begin, Ash witnesses a mega-evolved Blaziken who belonged to a masked hero named Blaziken Mask. Good job, writing team. In Origin of Mega Evolution, it was shown in a flashback how the Keystone was discovered, leading to the first known Mega Evolution. Ash unlocks his own special Pokemon power-up with the discovery of a bond phenomenon, which causes his Greninja to momentarily transform. Along for the ride this time were Pokemon trainer Serena, inventor Clement, and his younger sister Bonnie. Let's see, what else did X and Y give us? Players could walk in diagonal directions. Damn. Fairies became an official Pokemon type, and Horde battles lets players fight entire groups of Pokemon at a time, something Ash had been doing in the Pokemon anime since episode 1. Pokemon Ami also premiered in the X and Y games. Now, what is Pokemon Ami? Well, it allows players to feed, stroke, and play with their Pokemon as a way to develop stronger bonds. You okay, buddy? Pet. Now, once again, similar to the Pokemon Origins I talked about for Gen 1, we have another special anime series for the Pokemon franchise called Pokemon Generations. Produced by OLM, this anime is an 18-episode series with each of the episodes running for about 3 to 5 minutes and each episode showing a different story in the Pokemon game series, going from Gen 1 to this current generation, Gen 6. Like, for example, the first episode is just a montage of Red and his Pokemon Pikachu traveling all the way from Kanto to Kalos. Episode 3 shows us the rival of the player character challenging the Elite Four, and episode 15 has the anti-hero N fight Getsis to try and stop him from freezing the world. You can also watch all of these short episodes on the official Pokemon channel. Generation 7. Not to be outdone by the anime's exclusive ocean getaways, the Pokemon video games decided to take an island vacation of their own in November of 2016 with the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon mixed up the Pokemon formula more than any game before it, taking series staples like gyms and HMs out of the equation to make way for an island challenges and Poke Rides respectively. All the gadgets of the past are also replaced by the Pokemon-infused Rotom Pokedex. In place of X and Y's Mega Evolution, Sun and Moon introduced Z-moves, intensely powerful attacks that could be only used once per battle, assuming you had a Z-Ring and you're a Z-Warrior. No, wait, wrong series. Sun and Moon also introduced the existence of Alolan forms, which were new spins on the classic Pokemon, like really tall Executor and sexy Dugtrio. Even though these forms don't really count towards the game's official 88 new Pokemon, they were still fun additions for longtime fans. I mean, look at that long ass neck. The Pokemon anime received quite an overhaul as well. Though the art style had been tweaked in the past, the Sun and Moon series was given a much more comical and cartoony design than any prior seasons. The classic formula of Ash working through a region's gym and Pokemon leagues were scrapped in favor of new school settings, surrounding him with both classmates and rivals. Ash is finally going to school. Wow, how many years has it been, like 10 years? Do trainers even go to school? How does this world work? How do you get jobs after being a trainer? Of course, key mechanics from the game show up throughout the anime. Ash acquires a Z-Ring and begins to master different Z moves. Acquires his own Rotom Pokedex, takes part in a few of the game's Battle Royale throwdowns, and rides a variety of Pokemons around the Alolan Islands. In fact, Ash actually manages to mount a terrifying Sharpedo in the very first episode. Alola to New Adventure. And spoiler alert, after 20 years of being a wimpy runner-up nobody, Ash finally wins a dang Pokemon League championship. Give it up for him, folks. You did it, Pika. You did it, Ash. You did it, folks. And that's pretty much it. You're all caught up with the Pokemon video games and anime. You can see how the show has shaped over the years to promote the biggest and boldest changes in the main series Pokemon titles. Of course, like I mentioned at the start, there are tons of little details, Pokemons, and characters that the games and TV shows share in common we simply don't have time to cover. Unless you guys want another hour-long video about Pokemon. Comment down in the comment section below. The newest Pokemon anime, insert name if there is one, was announced in late September with a new traveling companion named Go and a focus that seemed to be not just on the new Galar region, but every other region ever. It's sure to tie in with Sword and Shield in many ways, with the speedy score bunny seen as a prominent Pokemon player. Just listen to this little adorable bunny-like Pokemon lose his mind. Now you can get back to your Switch, and I can get back to eating these rare candies. Whoa, I've Poke-evolved from Tim to Timothy. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video essay about Pokemon, their animes, and the games. Now remember, fellow kids, Pokemon Go and subscribe. Wait, was that Zelda music? Oh, it is Zelda music. I totally got that mixed up.